4 fish you should never touch, and 4 monk-approved choices to balance hormones. Are you tired of the confusion? The feeling that your own body is a mystery you can't solve? Are you exhausted from trying to eat healthy, only to find your polycystic ovary syndrome symptoms, the fatigue, the inflammation, the stubborn weight, the hormonal chaos remain unchanged or even get worse? You diligently buy fish because you're told it's brain food, full of healthy fats, but the noise around you is deafening. One person says eat more fish, another warns of mercury, and you are left standing in the grocery aisle, feeling defeated and completely alone in your struggle. This confusion is a special kind of pain, the pain of trying so hard and feeling like you're still failing. But I need you to hear this. There is good news, and there is profound hope. The confusion isn't your fault. The path to hormonal balance isn't about following trends. It's about finding clarity. This clarity is exactly what ancient wisdom, the quiet, profound wisdom of monks, offers us. It's a path of compassionate awareness, a way to stop the suffering of inflammation in the body. The right choices, the mindful choices, can calm the storm inside, relax your systems, and help your body find its natural equilibrium. In today's video, we are walking this path together. We are revealing the 4 fish you should never touch, the ones that may be silently sabotaging your healing. And then we will embrace the 4 monk-approved choices that are designed to balance your hormones and restore peace to your body. So stick around, because you don't want to miss these life-changing insights. The very first fish we'll discuss is one that many people, even some health experts, still consider a healthy choice. But its hidden nature could be fueling the very inflammation you're trying to escape. Before we begin this journey, I'd love to know where you're joining me from today. Drop a comment below just to say hello, and feel free to ask any questions you have as we go. This is a shared space, and your presence matters. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from Sacred Women's Health. Every video is a step toward understanding your body with compassion. First, let's talk about why this path is so confusing and why the wisdom of monks is the perfect antidote to the noise of the modern food world. We live in a world of constant noise, and this noise is reflected in our food system. When you are living with polycystic ovary syndrome, your body is already in a state of heightened sensitivity. It's like a delicate instrument tuned so finely that it picks up every disturbance. The problem is that much of our modern food, especially fish, has become a source of profound disturbance. We are told to eat fish for omega-3 south, the beautiful anti-inflammatory fats that our hormones crave. This is true. But what we are not told, what is whispered in the background, is that the waters are now tainted. We have to contend with industrial farming, with antibiotics, with inflammatory feed given to the fish, with microplastics, and with heavy metals like mercury. For a healthy, robust system, these might be minor issues, easily filtered. But for a body already navigating the complexities of polycystic ovary syndrome, these toxins are not minor. They are like throwing gasoline on a fire. They overburden the liver, disrupt the delicate dance of the endocrine system, and add to the body's total inflammatory load. This is where the Buddhist perspective, the monk's wisdom, becomes so powerful. It is not just about what you eat, but about the quality and energy of what you consume. A core concept in Buddhist practice is samasati, or right mindfulness. This applies to our food. Is this food a source of peace or a source of disturbance? A monk seeks to end suffering, dukkha, inflammation, hormonal imbalance, fatigue. This is a form of bodily suffering. Therefore, the food we choose should be an act of compassion, an offering of peace to the body, not an additional burden. You are not to blame for this confusion. You were trying to do the right thing. You were told eat fish, and you listened. But you were navigating a system that is broken, a system that often prioritizes profit and convenience over purity and health. Thousands, millions of women are in this exact same boat, feeling confused and betrayed by the healthy choices that don't seem to work. You are not alone. Here, we are creating a space of emotional safety, a place to untangle this confusion, not with judgment, but with profound, gentle clarity. Let us begin by mindfully setting aside the burdens. The first fish we must learn to avoid is one that is incredibly popular, often praised for being lean, affordable, and easy to cook: tilapia. This fish has become a staple in many healthy diets, but its inner reality is far from healing. The problem with tilapia, especially the vast majority that is farmed, is its fat profile. It contains very low levels of the beneficial omega-3 south we want, and incredibly high levels of omega-6 fatty acids. While omega-6 isn't inherently bad, our modern diets are already overflowing with it, and this imbalance is a primary driver of inflammation. For a woman with polycystic ovary syndrome, whose body is already fighting inflammation, eating farmed tilapia is like pouring oil on the fire. Furthermore, these fish are farmed in crowded conditions and fed unnatural diets of corn and soy, which is not what fish are meant to eat. This creates a stressed fish, and we absorb that stress, that inflammatory energy. Can eating this fish daily, or even weekly, really cause that much harm to your symptoms? The answer, given the sensitivity of a polycystic ovary syndrome body, is unequivocally yes. It's not a single event, but the accumulation of these small inflammatory insults. It's the death by 1,000 cuts for your hormones. A monk's path is one of balance. This fish is the very definition of imbalance. It adds to the noise, the chaos, the heat. The practical application here is simple. Steer clear. There are far better, far more compassionate choices for your body, which we will get to. But that's just the beginning. Tilapia is an inflammatory distraction, but the next fish we must discuss carries a far more sinister, hidden danger, a toxin that can directly attack the thyroid and brain, two systems absolutely critical for hormonal harmony. May I ask you something? Just a quiet question from me to you. How many times have you felt alone, completely misunderstood in what is happening to your body, as if no one around you could truly comprehend the struggle? How many times have you cried in frustration, feeling like your body has betrayed you, and you are fighting this battle all by yourself? I know how much that hurts, and I need you to know, truly know, that you are not alone in this fight. This feeling is shared by so many of us. If you feel this, if you have ever felt this isolation, I would be so grateful if you would leave a comment below saying, "I understand this struggle." Write exactly that. It is not just for you or for me. Your message might be the one thing that gives strength to another woman, another sister who is reading the comments right now and needs to know, desperately, that she is not alone. Thank you for that. Now, let us talk about that hidden danger, the one that accumulates silently. The second fish to remove from your path is the large, predatory fish, specifically swordfish and king mackerel. These fish are at the top of the food chain, and with that status comes a heavy burden: mercury. Mercury is a potent neurotoxin, and it is an absolute disaster for the endocrine system. It bioaccumulates in the tissues of these large fish, and when we eat them, it accumulates in us. This mercury can interfere with hormone production, particularly thyroid hormones. It's a tragedy that so many women with polycystic ovary syndrome also struggle with thyroid issues, and the link is undeniable. Your thyroid sets the metabolic rate for your entire body, and when it's sluggish, everything becomes sluggish. The fatigue, the weight gain, the brain fog, it all gets worse. A core tenet of Buddhist practice is ahimsa, or non-harming. This is usually interpreted as non-harm to others, but it equally applies to the self. Knowingly consuming a food that is high in a known toxin is a form of harm to your own body. It is the opposite of the compassionate, mindful eating we are cultivating. Is the mercury really that bad in just one serving? This is a common question. For a healthy, robust system with perfectly functioning detoxification pathways, perhaps the body could manage an occasional exposure. But for a system already overburdened, as is so common with polycystic ovary syndrome, that mercury isn't easily cleared. It builds up, adding to the body's total toxic load, clogging up detoxification pathways, and putting more stress on the liver, an organ already working overtime to manage excess hormones. The practical application is clear and non-negotiable for healing: complete avoidance. This isn't a food for moderation when your system is sensitive. This is a burden we must gently set down. Avoiding obvious toxins is a vital step, but what about the fish that is marketed to us as the absolute pinnacle of health? The next fish on our avoid list is perhaps the most popular health fish in the world, but its modern form is a betrayal of its wild nature, a true illusion. This one is painful because its wild cousin is such a profound healer. We are talking about conventionally farmed Atlantic salmon. This is the salmon you see most often in grocery stores, pale and often labeled with color added. That dye is necessary because the fish itself is an unnatural pale gray. Wild salmon get their beautiful pink-red color from their natural diet of krill and shrimp, a diet rich in the powerful antioxidant astaxanthin. Farmed salmon are fed pellets of corn, soy, and other processed grains, a diet that makes them sick, inflammatory, and deficient. To combat the diseases that run rampant in their crowded underwater pens, they are often treated with antibiotics and pesticides. These contaminants, along with dioxins and PCBs, accumulate in the fatty flesh of the fish. So when you eat farmed salmon, believing you are consuming healing omega-3 south, you are often consuming a cocktail of inflammatory fats, antibiotics, and industrial toxins. From a monk's perspective, this is a clear example of Maya, or illusion. We think we are eating a vibrant, healthy fish, but we are actually eating a product of industrial suffering, a food that is stressed, sick, and energetically dead. A monk seeks truth. The truth of this fish is inflammation, not health. But doesn't the omega-3 content outweigh the bad? Decades ago, the trade-off might have been different. But today, the levels of contaminants in many farmed salmon operations are recognized by global health bodies as a significant risk. A risk that, for a sensitive body, completely negates the potential benefits. You are trying to put out the fire of inflammation, and this fish adds fuel to it. The application here is to become a discerning consumer. Avoid Atlantic salmon, which is almost always farmed, and look for its wild-caught cousin, which we will soon celebrate. Before we continue, if this information is helping you find clarity, if you feel a sense of relief in finally understanding why you've been so confused, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss any of our upcoming tips on healing. Your support helps us reach more women who are searching for these same answers. We have now covered the inflammatory, the toxic, and the illusion. The fourth and final fish on our avoid list is one that hides in plain sight, a staple of convenience that often carries the same hidden burden as its larger cousins. This is albacore, or white tuna. Many of us grew up on tuna sandwiches, and it's seen as a quick, easy source of protein. But the type of tuna matters immensely. Albacore is a larger species of tuna than the kind used in chunk light. Because it's a larger fish and lives longer, it accumulates significantly more mercury. It's not as high as swordfish, but it is high enough that the FDA and EPA recommend strict limits, especially for women of childbearing age. For a woman with polycystic ovary syndrome, who is already in a state of endocrine sensitivity, any additional, consistent source of mercury is a problem. This is a practice of mindfulness. We often grab canned tuna for convenience, eating it mindlessly while standing at the counter or working at our desk. But mindfulness asks us to pause, to bring compassionate awareness to even the smallest choices. Is this convenient choice serving my long-term goal of peace and balance? Or is this mercury a hidden thorn, a small source of suffering, dukkha, that I am unknowingly adding to my body? So all tuna is bad? Not necessarily. But this specific type, albacore, or white tuna presents a higher risk. The application is to switch from albacore to chunk light tuna, which is typically made from smaller skipjack tuna and has about 1/3 the mercury. But better yet, we can turn away from the risks entirely and embrace the true healers, the fish that the monk's wisdom would celebrate for their purity and peace-bringing properties. Enough of the shadows. We have cleared the path of these burdens. We have mindfully acknowledged the foods that bring disturbance. Now, let us walk into the light. The wisdom of the monks is not, and has never been, about restriction. It is about wise selection. It is about liberation from what harms us, and the joyful embrace of what heals us. The first monk-approved, hormone-balancing fish I want to share with you is a tiny giant, a true source of compassionate nutrition, the humble sardine. I know what some of you are thinking, but I invite you to pause and practice non-attachment to your preferences for just a moment. Sardines are, quite simply, one of the most perfect foods for polycystic ovary syndrome. They are tiny, so they are at the very bottom of the food chain, meaning they do not bioaccumulate mercury or other toxins. They are brimming with the most potent anti-inflammatory omega-3 south, EPA and DHA, which are the direct antidote to the inflammation driving your symptoms. And because they are traditionally eaten whole, tiny bones and all, they are one of the richest natural sources of calcium and vitamin D, two nutrients absolutely critical for hormonal health and insulin sensitivity that many women with polycystic ovary syndrome are deficient in. From a monk's perspective, the sardine embodies humility and no waste. It is not glamorous, but it is pure, potent, and honest. Eating the whole fish is a practice of gratitude, utilizing the complete gift of nature without waste. Can I really learn to eat sardines, especially if I hate the taste? This is a beautiful opportunity to practice shifting perception. You are not eating a fishy food. You are mindfully consuming a powerful, pure, anti-inflammatory medicine. The aversion is often just a thought, a story from the past. The healing, however, is real and profound. The application is to start small. You don't have to eat them from the can. Mash 1 or 2 into a good quality olive oil with lemon juice and herbs and mix it into a salad. Or chop them finely and add them to a tomato sauce. They will melt away, leaving only a deep, savory flavor, not a fishy one. Always buy them packed in olive oil or spring water, never in soybean or vegetable oil, which are inflammatory. Aim for 2 to 3 servings a week and feel the inflammation begin to calm. The sardine heals with its humility. The next fish heals with its pristine purity, a true gift from the cleanest, coldest waters, and the true form of the illusion we discussed earlier. This is the fish that the farmed version tries and fails to imitate. We are talking about wild-caught Alaskan salmon. This is the truth. This fish lived a natural wild life in the pristine, cold waters of Alaska. It fought upstream. It ate its natural diet of krill and shrimp, which is what gives its flesh that beautiful, deep red-orange color. That color is from astaxanthin, one of the most powerful antioxidants on the planet, which protects the fish's precious oils from going rancid and does the same for your body, protecting your cells from damage. The omega-3 profile is unmatched. This fish is pure, clean, and powerfully anti-inflammatory. It helps directly with insulin resistance, lifts the brain fog, and supports mood, all common and painful struggles for women with polycystic ovary syndrome. The monk's wisdom here points to right livelihood. This fish lived a right life. It is a product of a healthy, functioning, wild ecosystem. The farmed salmon, by contrast, is a product of wrong livelihood, an industrial, unnatural, and suffering-filled system. When we eat the wild salmon, we are absorbing that pure, wild, vibrant energy. We are aligning ourselves with the wisdom of nature, not the distortions of industry. But it's so expensive. How can I possibly afford this? This is a real and valid question, and the monk's wisdom offers a clear answer: quality over quantity. It is far, far better for your body to eat 1 4-ounce serving of this pure, healing food than it is to eat 5 servings of the cheap, inflammatory, toxic alternative. This is not just food, it is medicine. You are making a compassionate investment in your own peace and well-being. The practical application is to look for wild Alaskan salmon. Sockeye and coho are common. Buying it frozen is often much more affordable than fresh. And don't forget canned. Canned wild Alaskan salmon is a fantastic, affordable, and convenient option. Just like with sardines, it provides calcium from the small, edible bones. 1 or 2 servings a week of this fish is a profound act of self-love. We have the humble and the pure, but what about sustainability and convenience? The monks knew that for a practice to be sustainable, it must be accessible. The next fish is just that, another tiny powerhouse that is often overlooked. Our third monk-approved choice is mackerel, but we must be very specific. We are not talking about the high-mercury king mackerel we put on the avoid list. We are talking about the small, abundant, and deeply nourishing Atlantic mackerel or Pacific mackerel. These are small, schooling fish, part of the SMASH family: sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, herring, that are the safest and healthiest to eat. This small mackerel is an absolute omega-3 powerhouse, often containing even more anti-inflammatory fats per serving than salmon. It is also one of the best food sources of vitamin D, which acts more like a hormone in the body and is essential for regulating periods and managing insulin, a true gift for polycystic ovary syndrome. Because it's a small fish, its mercury load is very low. The monk's wisdom here teaches interdependence. This small fish plays a vital and sustainable role in the ocean's ecosystem. Its health is a sign of the ocean's health. By mindfully choosing a sustainable small fish like this, we are participating in that interdependent web. We are honoring the ocean while we heal ourselves. It is a single mindful choice that ripples outward, supporting our own health and the health of the planet. Is this different from the mackerel I see in sushi restaurants? Often, yes. You are looking for the smaller Atlantic or Pacific varieties. It's often sold smoked, which is delicious on a seed cracker with a bit of avocado, or in cans, very similar to sardines. It has a rich, strong flavor, which is a sign of its potent medicinal quality. We learn to appreciate that flavor as a signal of deep nourishment. We have covered the tiny, the pure, and the sustainable. The final choice is perhaps the most foundational, the one that embodies the ultimate monastic principle of simplicity and hidden power. Our final and perhaps wisest choice, the fourth monk-approved fish, is the tiny anchovy. If sardines are humble, anchovies are the hidden servants. So many people have a strong, attached opinion. I hate anchovies. This is a beautiful opportunity to practice the Buddhist concept of non-attachment to our preferences. This attachment is just a thought, a story. The reality is that this tiny fish is one of the most perfect, potent, and pure healing foods on the planet. They are the smallest on our list, meaning they have virtually zero mercury. They are an incredible omega-3 powerhouse. They are also rich in selenium, a mineral crucial for the thyroid's ability to convert hormones, and like sardines, a great source of calcium. The monk's wisdom asks, can we let go of our attachment to a preference, the story that I don't like, in order to receive a profound gift, the reality of healing? How do I eat them without ... tasting them? This is the beautiful secret of the anchovy. You don't have to eat them plain, though some learn to love them. You use them as a secret ingredient. They are the monk in the kitchen, working silently in the background. When you buy flat tins of anchovies packed in olive oil, you can take 1 or 2 fillets, mince them, and add them to your garlic and olive oil base before you make a tomato sauce. You can mash one into your vinaigrette salad dressing. They completely and totally melt away. The fishy taste dissolves, and it just leaves behind this profound, savory, complex umami flavor that makes everything taste richer and more delicious. It is healing in disguise. It is the ultimate act of mindful cooking, infusing your food with anti-inflammatory, hormone-balancing power in a way no one will ever detect. This is the path of wisdom. Simple, pure, and profoundly effective. Today, we have done so much more than just make a list of good and bad fish. We have learned a new way to see, a new way to choose. We have learned to pause and ask the monk's question: is this food an act of compassion? Is it bringing peace to my body? Or is it bringing disturbance? Is it an illusion? Or is it the truth? This is the clarity that cuts through all the noise. The path of healing from polycystic ovary syndrome is not a path of harsh restrictions or complicated rules. It is a gentle path of returning, of listening, and of making compassionate, mindful choices one after the other. It's the choice to set down the burdens of tilapia, swordfish, farmed salmon, and albacore tuna. And it is the joyful, healing choice to embrace the humble sardine, the pure wild salmon, the sustainable mackerel, and the hidden power of the anchovy. If you made it this far, it means you are searching for answers, for relief, and for hope. This channel was created exactly for that, to help you understand your body, to help you regain control, and to help you find solutions that actually, truly work. You are not alone here. We are building a safe space, a community where women like you can find support, encouragement, and real information that makes a difference. If this is the kind of guidance you've been looking for, if you are ready to walk this path of compassionate healing, please subscribe now and turn on the notifications. Every video is another step toward a healthier, happier, and more peaceful you.